So were you always on the spiritual path, or was this something that came to you later in life?
Um, I think the entire what we refer to as a human experience is a spiritual experience, Christine. We're all on the spiritual path, one way or the other. Some of us are aware that we are on the spiritual path, and most of us are not. Uh, I'm still with your question. I'm just going to have to go through two screens. Um, so it's going to be a little bit tricky, but I'll do my best. Gonzalo, if you have anything to ask, just pose it, and I will come to it. So as I was saying, Christine, this entire experience is quotes unquote a spiritual experience. Now, what do we mean by a spiritual experience? Meaning that it's an exploration, it's a contemplation. There are questions that we are sort of, when we get to a reasoning age, there are questions that arise for us. What's going on? What is it that I want? What am I supposed to be? What am I supposed to do with my life? And as we grow up, our bases are loaded. Our parents, our teachers, our surrounding society that surrounds us basically tells us what we are. Tells us, you are this and that. Our parents tell us, give us a name. They tell us what we're supposed to be. They tell us how great we are, or how lousy we are, or what are the things that they like about us, what are the things that they don't like about us. So we end up very quickly with a lot of questions. What is going on? What am I supposed to be? And many of us sort of pick up the storyline that you're supposed to, I guess, just to simplify it, to make money, get a family, a house, a car. Or depends on what culture you're in. What are the specific circumstances? You end up chasing that, but deep down, what we're all looking for, Christine, is peace and happiness. Because whether it's through material possessions or through relationship, or hello, Reina. One moment, Christine. Hello, Reina. So, Reina, I have lowered your volume. If you have a question, I will raise your volume in a timely fashion. So back to your question, Christine, in terms of when did I realize that going out in the world after a job, after a family, after hello, Lee, after material possessions is not the path, is not the way towards peace and happiness. I think in sort of sometimes in my 20s, I had sort of a big shift that there was basically a glimpse. I had a glimpse. The glimpse being that I am not what I took myself to be, what I thought I am. I am not this person. I basically saw that I am the aware presence. I am, at that time, I didn't use this language. It's as if my mind sort of got turned off in a moment, and I saw eternity. So it's a glimpse. We all have various glimpses that basically reveal to us that we are not just a phenomenal event, that there is an experience that we know that we are, that is way beyond the events that appear to us. When we get a glimpse into that, our entire attention shifts. Might not shift totally, but it does shift from following what we have been taught and believe that we are, and what we have been taught as behaviors that lead us to happiness, such as finding a job, a family, and money, and material security. That entire direction shifts, and we start to explore the nature of our experience. So I'm not sure if I'm answering your question. Maybe you can follow up with another question if you do have another question, but
I do have another question, actually.
yes.
I'm wondering if you could talk a little bit about asking, asking in the seeing, asking the higher, yeah, just about asking.
Hello, Linda. I'm sorry, Christine. Do you mind repeating your question?
I'm just wondering about true asking like, is it possible to ask the being to show you things or to, yeah, just
Yes,
if,
sure, I understand. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Um, absolutely. You can ask for direction, you can ask for light, you can ask for wisdom, you can ask for the love, you can ask for all of that. All, you can just absolutely, because you you are consciousness. So when you're asking, you're not asking. You don't need to send a telegram or send a letter to Santa. It's, you can ask directly, right in your heart. You can go right into your being and ask. But the asking that there are different ways of asking and different type of asking. There is an asking that is sort of grabby and is coming from fear, and it's contracted, and basically what this sort of asking is says, I'm afraid, and give me something to settle my fear, uh, and to make me happy. So this sort of asking has in it this fear, this contracted fear, and it's sort of, it's asking, but it's still maintaining its contracted grip. Now you could, as you're asking, also surrender. So in other words, if you want to receive, you have to also give. Yeah, so you can ask in a way where you're not just receiving, you're not just expecting, you're not just wanting, but you are also offering, you're also giving, you're also surrendering. So when you ask with an open heart. So you tell, the divine self, you tell consciousness, you tell God, you tell the divine love, give me yourself, give me all of yourself. I'm gonna give you all of myself. So I give you all of me, and I'm open for all of you. I'm giving you all of me, but I'll receive from you whatever you give me. Whatever you give me, I will accept. You see? So that's a beautiful way of asking, because the asking has so much more giving in it, and it's in this giving that we receive. It's in the surrendering that we receive. The surrendering is so loving. It's so loving. I mean, when we are with a friend, we put down all our guards. With like a real friend, somebody we don't. It's not like an acquaintance. When we're with a friend, we're not guarding ourselves, because if we are guarded, it's still not like it's not a really loving friendship. A loving friendship, you're not trying to maneuver, you're not trying to manipulate. You're just totally open and surrendered. Like when you're in love, before the mind gets in and says, "Oh, well, what am I getting out of this relationship?" But when you're in love, before this dealing and wheeling and dealing, there is a surrendering. There is a total merging, a total letting go. So in your asking, Christine, surrender all of yourself, all of it. Even surrender what you are asking. In your asking, surrender what you're asking. And in this way of asking, you will find all what you're asking for. Because what you are deeply asking for is the freedom and the love and the happiness. Isn't that so? And to receive the love and the happiness and the freedom, you have to let go. You have to surrender, and not just to remain in a protective mode. Because what you are trying to protect, Christine, is a shadow, is a ghost. Is when you start to protect and try to safeguard this you character, this me character, there is no end to that. And there is no happiness in that, Christine. There is no happiness for you, and there is no happiness for the people with whom you are in relationship. Because the happiness for the people around you comes from your happiness. It's your happiness that fills the entire space. So in oh, one moment. Sorry, I'll be right back. So yes. You know, we've inherited this, these tendencies, this identification, this identity. You know, me, Magdi, me, Christine, me, Linda. And it's a limitation. It's a contraction. It's not freedom, it's not openness. It's not bliss. And from this limited space, from this limited identity, as this limited identity, we live. So in a way, we live in a contracted way, in a contracted manner. And so we suffer because we really want the freedom, we really want the happiness. But the happiness is not possible for a character. It's not possible for a limited entity to experience infinity, to experience divinity, to experience eternity. Because the person is identified with the body mind, and so there is this concern about mortality that's in the space. It's like it's a virus of mortality that's in the space. And the me contraction is sort of is with us even in our dreams. So the spiritual exploration is the exploration of that belief structure that limits consciousness to a personal experience. And this personal experience is intimately connected with our belief and our feeling that I am this person. And so the spiritual work is the inquiry, is the contemplation of our experience to come to the realization that our experience is not, in fact, in truth, a limited experience. Whatever we perceive as limited is perceived by a grander reality, which is the reality of consciousness. Consciousness being the experience that hears these words. Whatever it is that hears these words, the reality of your experience is not what is perceived. The reality of your experience is the reality of consciousness that perceives, but in itself it is not perceived. So you come to that understanding that whatever arises on the screen, you perceive it, but you are not perceived. The body is perceived. You know, bodily sensations, feelings, emotions, perceptions are perceived. They arise to us. But you, the presence, the awareness that perceives, that does not arise. So like in your dream, you perceive all sorts of objects, characters, situations, events. but you don't perceive the dreamer. And yet, you are the dreamer. I mean, I'm talking about the night sleep. You are. Thus, the reality is not the reality of the feelings or the emotions of the dream character. The reality is the reality of consciousness, the reality of you, the dreamer. That the dreamer, if it's dreaming that a lion is catching a rabbit, the dreamer, you're not hurt by that. It's only the rabbit that is hurt by the lion. But even that is not true, because there is no real rabbit and no real lion. You follow? It's an impression, a dream impression that from the dream point of view seems to be real. But the reality of the rabbit and of the lion is you, you, the dreamer. So the reality of our thoughts and perceptions, emotions, feelings, sensations, that the reality of whatever appears on the screen, whatever images appear, whether those images are gross images such as a tree, or subtle images such as a feeling or a thought or a sensation, the reality of what appears on the screen is you, consciousness. So the lion and the rabbit, they don't see you. You see them. You know what I mean? When you're in the night dream, you see them. You see the lion, excuse me, chasing the rabbit. But the rabbit isn't aware of you. It can never. It's impossible. It's completely impossible for the rabbit to say, "Oh, I see you, Christine." You know what I mean? It's impossible. It's because it's being dreamt by you. So in the same way, the character Christine or the character Magdi or Linda or the character Lee, these characters, hello Dolores, these characters cannot perceive consciousness. In other words, bodily sensations, images, memories, thoughts, feelings, emotions, all these things that you perceive, that you experience, throughout your day, Christine. All these things that you experience, you perceive them. None of them knows you. We refer to the mind as all these events that you perceive, thoughts, emotions, sensations, perceptions, bodily sensations. That's what we refer to as the mind. There is no actual, how do you say, there is no actual mind, like in the sense that there is some entity that exists somewhere, another intelligence that exists somewhere that has a mind. Is what we refer to by mind is whatever phenomenal events that we experience, thoughts, memories, preferences, tendencies, images, likes, dislikes, all of these, the conglomerations of all of these things, we refer to as a mind, as the mind. So we say my mind, usually we refer to my mind as if there is some entity that has a mind. But my mind refers to I as consciousness perceives mind, meaning perceives thoughts, perceives sensations, perceives perceptions, perceives feelings, etc. So my mind, actually, the correction of that way of speaking is I am the consciousness that perceives all events, that perceives all the world, that perceives the body, that perceives the mind. I perceive. But best is for you to go directly to your experience, Christine, and not to listen to some of the theoretical stuff if it sounds theoretical, what I'm telling you. You go directly to your experience, and your experience will reveal to you that your experience is made out of perceptions. Like right now, you're perceiving, this screen, and made out of also sensations. You can like sense your back, your neck, your body, or your hands on the table, or sensations and thoughts. For example, you can think right now of, today is Wednesday. So you perceive that thought. So your experience is made out of perceptions, sensations, and thoughts. That's what your experience is. But also, above all, your experience is made out of consciousness. Because it is through consciousness, Christine, that you know the thought or the sensation, because you're conscious of the sensation. So it's through consciousness that you're hearing these words. It's if there wasn't consciousness right now, if you weren't conscious right now, this experience wouldn't even be, right? So it is through consciousness. So when I say you go directly to your experience and you notice there are perceptions, bodily sensations, and thoughts, I am omitting to speak of the elephant in the room. The elephant in the room is awareness. I refer to awareness or consciousness as the same term. Presence. Presence refers to I am, meaning presence refers to the knowingness that there is an experience here, and that this experience is my experience. Not the experience of the body, not the experience of Magdi or Christine, the experience of I am. If I ask you, are you here? You say, yes, I am. So presence is the I am. That's always, always there. Always there. Even in your deep sleep, there is absence of mind. There are no thoughts. There are no perceptions. There are no sensations. But the I is. And you know that because when you wake up from deep sleep, you say, wow, I had a really good deep sleep tonight, Somebody's asked me a question. One moment. So you ask yourself, how did I know that I had deep sleep, that I had good deep sleep? It's because you were there. You, the I am, the presence was there. One moment. Let me see. Monica. Monica, can you hear me? Let me see if I can invite her. One moment. So Monica is trying to join us, and she asked me how does she get in. Check your email. And let me see. Click on the I'm not sure, Christine, did I Did I answer your question? I'm not sure.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. I drift, so sometimes you have to bring me back on to your question. Plus, being distracted by people trying to join us, and so yes. Hello, Linda. Let's see, Linda.
Hi, Maggie.
Hello, Linda. Hello.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, I do hear you. Can you hear me?
Hello.
Yes, I hear you.
Oh, hi. I can hear you. Hi.
Okay.
Yes, I had a question.
Mm-hmm.
I know you often talk about God, that you refer to God as she, and I think that's really lovely. It's lovely when people talk about God, as Father or she, and I can feel that is really lovely. But I have a bit of an issue with myself, even though I sort of understand. Well, I don't really understand.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot comprehend God as being a male or female or a mother or a father. And whenever I try to think of God, in that way and have that devotion, I just see, the ego's version of mother father, which is totally dysfunctional and, terrible. Yet, I mean, to me, God is just love.
Mm-hmm.
Beyond all that, yet, like, I study A Course in Miracles, and I love it. It's helped me so much, and it's really
Okay.
saying the same thing as all the truths, but it too it talks in the language of the Father. And like today, I'm doing this lesson, and it's about well, it's God is my life, and I have no life but His, and it's saying things like, our Father, let us see the face of Christ instead of our mistakes, which is so beautiful. But I am, I find it really difficult to think of God as a father that's so limited. But yeah, so what I wanted to ask you was, why do you refer to God as she? I mean, I would love to be able to do that. It's just that I can't
Well,
do
why,
that.
if you love to refer to God as a she, go ahead and do it. Why not? You say you would love to do it, do it.
No, I don't want to do it. I don't love to do it. Oh, I see
Uh,
what you're saying.
yeah,
Oh, okay.
I, maybe I'm
Right.
just trying to restore some balance. Maybe there's been too long referring to God as a he. So,
Oh, okay.
well, let me see. Uh, I, I don't know. I'm drawn to the tenderness, of the female gender. Um,
Don't you think men have tenderness in their
yes,
gender?
yes, but uh, men have a tendency to cover that up, to sort of, get together around the fire and go hunting, which is, really a wonderful thing to do. Uh, I probably have done a lot of hunting myself at some time or the other. Um, so I enjoy that quality. Yeah, I enjoy the she energy, the female quality. Hello, Tay. And so
Hi, Magda.
hello, Tay. And so I refer to God as a she out of out of just balancing things out, and also just out of loving that quality, loving the feminine quality.
But is there really a separate, divided male energy quality and a separate female energy quality? There really is only one thing, isn't there? Like in truth.
Yeah, but in the dream, meaning in when you are when you put your hand in the fire, or when you put your hand in water, there is a different sort of a different image on the screen. Yes, when the
Oh
water,
yeah.
yeah. So there is, that's part of the display. It's true that there is only one reality, which is the reality of consciousness. But consciousness plays all the plays. It plays the fire, the fierce, fiery goddess, and it plays the divine dancing goddess. So they're different um, different flavors to it. Like you have, for example, a cactus, which is an essential plant out in the desert to collect water, and lots of animals come and somehow feed off of it. And but it's very prickly. I had the misfortune of sliding in years ago when I was in New Mexico onto a cactus, and it's very prickly. And there are plants that have a different quality. Yeah, so there isn't, although consciousness is one, the all the images that appear on the screen are made out of the screen. They don't stand, they're not separate from the screen, but yet they have different qualities. Yes?
I don't really agree with that, because I know that you're talking about the images on the screen and that,
Mm-hmm.
yet consciousness that might be manifesting as a female body, like I appear to have like a female body,
Mm-hmm.
but that there's still the that might be what it looks like, but it can't. I mean, God, how can God manifest yet only manifest a part of itself, an aspect? How, like, I know people talk about aspects, but how can God only manifest
Well,
an aspect, leave out an wouldn't the female contain everything, and you being a male would contain
if
everything?
if you look at, for example, a tree, okay, you have leaves, you have buds, you have flowers, you have a trunk, you have branches. So when you look at the leaves, you say, oh, gee, how can the tree manifest as leaves? You look at the trunk, oh, how can it manifest as a trunk? You look at the branch, you look at the flower. So they're all really one. I mean, all of these various aspects are part of this one tree. So if you look, for
But wouldn't
example,
it
at the
be
human body, you say, okay, well, there are, fingers, and then, oh, there's a hand, there's an arm, there's a leg. They're all so different. There are eyes, there are ears, there's a nose, there's hair. And you look at all of these, and every one of them seems to be different, but they're all part of this one body.
well, I'm just wondering though, if I just say, if I look at a man, because I'm just going to talk about myself, if I look at a man and I don't see tenderness, it's not, it would be the error would be in the perceiver or the dreamer, because really shouldn't shouldn't I be able to look at anything that appears separate, any aspect, and see the wholeness in it? And if not, wouldn't
Yeah, well,
that be because
you could, you have to be wise about it, because if you're stopped by a policeman who you went through a light, or you were speeding and wants to give you a ticket, you could see the tenderness, but you have to make sure to give him your driver's license and explain yourself as best you can, and hopefully you will not. hopefully you will not get too much in trouble. Sorry, one moment, Linda, because somebody's asking me some questions about joining, and I am not sure how to help. But let me see. Okay. So I'm sorry, I'm not sure how to help. Any suggestions from anybody out there? Monica is trying to join, and she says that she does not see how to get in, and I invited her twice.
You have to download the
I think she has.
Google.
Yeah, maybe. Let me ask her if she's downloaded.
See, you can't really get into the Hangout from invitation. You have to go into Google Plus. I found you got to go into Google Plus and go into Hangouts, and then your Hangout will come up, and then you join.
Yeah.
That's just what I found.
Yep. Okay. So let me see. Where were we at?
Well, you were talking about the policeman thing, but I can't see what that has to do with like if a policeman did stop me and ask for my license, that wouldn't really affect how I saw the wholeness. I mean, those things happen.
Yeah. Yes. So what is the question? What is the question, Linda?
I forgot my question, Magdi.
Nothing.
Okay.
I forgot what to decide.
Okay, that's okay. It's good. It's good to forget the question. If an important question will be forgotten.
Oh no, I know what it was. It was why do you call God a she?
Okay.
That was the question. But it doesn't really matter.
I am whimsical. I am whimsical.
Okay.
Okay. Is there any other question?
What's her name? Linda.
Linda, yeah. Okay.
Hello.
Hello.
If you don't mind, there is a question from Gonzalo, and Gonzalo, I know you cannot, we cannot see you, but I'm going to read your question for everybody. So the question from Gonzalo is: the only thing we know for sure is that I am, and everything appears on I, not a thing, but I as the background where everything appears. So to see that is that all? If it is, then why it seems it needs so much attention? So Gonzalo, yes, when you say we know for sure that I am, and one moment, let me just do a couple of things here. So Gonzalo, when you say that I know for sure that I am and that everything appears on I, meaning I as the screen, I as consciousness, and that I am not a thing, that consciousness is not a thing, and you ask, why does it need so much attention? Well, it needs so much attention because we do not know. We do not know that I am consciousness. We do not know that everything that appears is made out of the substance of consciousness. What we believe in ignorance, meaning in ignoring our true nature, is that I am a man or a woman, that I am born, that I am this mortal body mind. So it is because we do not know our true nature that it needs so much attention. I'm sorry, there is some background noise.
Yeah, I'm so glad.
Dolores, Dolores, if you can hear me. Uh, yes, Dolores. There is a lot of sound coming from you, Dolores. Sorry to. Uh, uh, I'm unable to mute your mic, so if you can mute it yourself. Okay, Gonzalo. So, coming back to your question, we need to contemplate what is the nature, the true nature of our experience, because of ignorance. If it wasn't for ignorance, we would be happy and peaceful, and we would not have a need to seek happiness, and therefore there would be no questions. In other words, until the questions are ended, they are not ended, and they need to be addressed. They need to be explored until the search is over, meaning until you are established in peace and happiness. Peace and happiness that does not depend on your husband, on your wife, on your job, doesn't depend on anything. Until you're established in peace and happiness, you are still on the path. Once you are established in peace and happiness, then you are in the celebration. The contemplation continues, but it's a celebratory contemplation that is soaked with peace and happiness. So I hope I have answered your question, Gonzalo. If you have any follow-up, just send me a message on Facebook. I'm looking at the screen in case you have a follow-up question. Oh yes, Gonzalo says, it seems so clear that I just wonder how is it possible that this is not more our daily experience. Well, you know, Gonzalo, ignorance goes deep. It is not our daily experience because the sense of separation, the sense of me being a person, is embedded in our body. It is in our cells, it's in our pores, it's in our face, it's in our eyes, in our skin. We feel as a me. When something doesn't meet our expectations, when our partner disappoints us, when our children don't succeed at their task, we feel it. We feel it, Gonzalo. We feel it in our chest, in our belly. When we go to sleep, we're feeling it. We're breathing. It's in our body, and it's in our cells. It's in our nervous system. It's in our sanguine system. It's in our breath. So this sense of separation, the sense of mortality, the sense of being a person that depends on an external world, on external situations, that depends on partner, that depends on a family, that depends on work, that this experience is not just a thought, it's felt. And we give our feelings a lot of importance because our feelings are in our body. They're like bodily sensations. And we have difficulty ignoring our bodily sensations. It's easier for us to ignore a thought, say, oh, well, that was a crazy thought, that was a weird thought, I don't know, why am I worried about my my daughter or my husband? Heck, easy to sort of do that with a thought, but the feeling, the concern that we feel, that's more difficult to brush away, Gonzalo. But that's the exploration. The exploration is not just the understanding that thoughts and memories are they're just passing, but to also understand experientially, to experience that also sensations and that feelings and emotions are nothing else but sensations, bodily sensations with a story. They're bodily sensations with a story. We have a tremendous difficulty to see that, Gonzalo. We get so wrapped up in the bodily sensations, the feeling, and the emotions. It's very difficult for us to get to see that it's just a bodily sensation, and that I, as consciousness, I'm not touched by it. You see?
Mm-hmm.
And we have to see that over and over and over and over to see that, okay, yeah, there was this emotion, this turmoil, but I'm okay. Not I as a body mind, but I as consciousness, I as this aware presence, I'm okay. So it's a matter of being able to shift from I as the person, I as this body mind, to I as consciousness that is always okay. Like the open sky, like the infinite open sky is always okay, no matter what the weather is like. No matter if there are clouds, rain, a storm,
Lightning, thunder.
right, lightning, thunder, the wide open sky is just a wide open sky, peaceful and tranquil. To come to that, that sensitivity, that sense of beingness, which is always present right now, right this very moment, our experience is perceiving this perception or a sensation or a thought, whatever you're experiencing right now, is arising in the openness of presence, in the borderless presence. That's the reality of this moment, the reality of your experience right now. So over and over to come back to the reality of your experience, which is the presence, the borderless presence, the openness, the awareness, whatever words you want to use, that cannot be perceived via the senses, but you know it because you are it. You are this presence, you are this awareness, you are this openness, you are this beingness right here, right now. And no matter what time of the day it is, whatever is appearing on the screen, that openness, that presence is there. And it's not touched, it's not stained by anything that appears on the screen. It's a very lovely contemplation.
Yes,
Yes,
definitely.
yes. Gonzalo
Glory.
also says, I'm going to read what Gonzalo is messaging me. He says, sometimes under the pressure of the moment, for example, like concern about security, about tomorrow, a feeling appears in the body, and a thought like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Immediately there is the knowing that whatever happens is not really in our control, and that right now everything is okay. Everything is okay. So the thought of tomorrow is seen as just a thought appearing now and does not have much value. So peace prevails. Yes, peace is here always. Yes, Gonzalo. Yes, that's true. That is very true. That's a very important what you are sharing, to be able to shift from, oh my God, what is happening to me? What am I going to do? A feeling insecurity appears. What am I going to do? To shift from that feeling to everything is okay. Now, everything is never okay from the body point of view, from the person's point of view, because the person is made out of thoughts, of identity, of desires and wishes and images. So from the person's point of view, oh no, I want things to go in a certain direction. I want things to give me more money, to give me a better wife or a better husband, better children, better job, etc. So from that point of view, there is this imagined sense of danger. What's going to happen to me? But that point of view is just an image on the screen. As you say, you are that perceives this image. As you say, there is the knowing that whatever happens is not, well, it's not really in our control. Well, the thing about control, Gonzalo, is that in fact there is one controller, which is the universal intelligence, God, or consciousness, or universal wisdom. But this consciousness, this universal consciousness, is what you are. What you are. So it is in your control. Everything is in your control as divine consciousness, but not in your control as a person. In other words, Monica, I am so sorry that Monica wasn't able to join us. One moment, I just want to see what more I can tell Monica.
Mother, what kind of computer is she on?
I don't know, Monica Caradori. I don't know. I don't know how to. Yeah, I don't know.
Because the iPad was a little more difficult for me when I downloaded Google.
Yeah. Let me just one moment. Okay. Yeah, Gonzalo, right. Control as consciousness. So the whole question of control is that, like in the night dream, you are dreaming all the scenes, all the characters in the dream. You are dreaming everything, but the dream character cannot control anything. Like if you're dreaming, for example, a lion, the lion is your creation, but the lion does not create anything. You are dreaming the lion, and you are dreaming the rabbit that the lion is chasing. See, you are dreaming both of them. But the lion sees the rabbit and runs after the rabbit, but in fact, it's you that is making the lion see the rabbit. It's actually the lion doesn't really see a rabbit. It's you're dreaming a lion that is seeing a rabbit. So it's like a dream inside a dream. Like the lion is supposedly seeing a rabbit, but in fact it's you who's seeing a lion seeing a rabbit. You follow?
I remember that dream.
Yes. So from the oh, hello, David. Hello, David. David is enjoying the lion and the rabbit. so, so it's similarly in the same way. The dream character, the Magdi character, the Gonzalo character, and the David character, the Tay character, Linda character. These characters do not see consciousness. It is consciousness that's dreaming these characters. But you are that consciousness. You are this consciousness that is perceiving Magdi. It perceives Magdi as images, as thoughts, as bodily sensations, right? What else is Magdi? What else is Magdi besides thoughts, perception, sensation? Even right now, you see Magdi, you're seeing a perception. You're hearing a hearing. You're hearing perception, auditory perception. If you look at your body, it's a perception and it's sensation. So, so I, as consciousness, perceive all these things, like the dreamer perceives the lion chasing the rabbit. You see, but the body mind, cannot perceive the perceiver, right? So who is in control? I am in control. I as consciousness, not I as this character or these thoughts and images, you see? And this I that is in control is the same I that is controlling all sensations. Linda's sensations, Tay's sensations, etc. You see, all of every quote unquote mind is fueled by consciousness, by the one consciousness. There aren't, like separate consciousness. A is fueling body mind A, consciousness B is fueling body mind B, etc. It's not like that. It's not like that. Yes, it's not like that. I'll be right there, Gonzalo. So if there were separate consciousnesses that fuels a separate body mind, there would be separate realities, and these separate realities have something needs to perceive them, because for you to perceive two separate trees, an oak tree and a palm tree, you have to perceive them, because what would be the difference of an oak tree and a palm tree if they're not known by anything or anybody? So there is a higher reality that knows all these realities, and this higher reality is that consciousness. So there aren't two realities, only one reality, which is the reality that knows all quote unquote sub-realities, if you want to use that term. Gonzalo said, he says, whatever happens to this body mind in the movie is in no one's control. Whatever happens to this body mind in the movie, Gonzalo, is not in the control of the body mind. So, for example, when you go to the theater and you watch a play, and there are actors playing different roles, doing variety of things on the stage, reciting different lines on the stage, there is one controller, and that's the choreographer, the playwright. So the playwright, all these characters, what whatever the body minds on the movie on the screen are doing, they're under the control of the script writer. See, now the script writer is not, I mean, is a metaphor, you say. In this case, it's the playwright. But in terms of consciousness, the script writer or the playwriter is not a person. It's not a thing. It's not an object. It's not. It's the wholeness. It's the entire. I'm sorry, Esther?
The knower.
No, it's
that
the
knows?
yeah. It's knowing as being. Yeah,
Yes.
it knows it, but it knows and it is. So
Everything.
it's a imagine a choreographer
Oh my God.
that conceives a play
Yes.
and that creates the play, meaning writes the play and plays the play. And
Oh, Magda, you have me crying.
yeah, it's you're easy to cry. You cry easily, so, which is okay. I sometimes do myself. So so it's this sort of choreographer that conceives, creates, and perceives as one. But then Gonzalo, you say the example to go to war, then I as someone is in fear in combat. Yes, when you go in combat, you're right. Then this is known by consciousness. The dream character is in war in the dream, and in the dream, he's afraid, but it all is seen by consciousness because it dreams everything, the character and the content. So to be aware of the whole situation takes away all concern with the dream.
Yeah, so beautiful.
Yes, Gonzalo, so when you are dreaming that you are at war in a combat, or when you are dreaming that there is something chasing you, there is a danger to you, and you are afraid, you're experiencing fear. In fact, the you that is being chased by the lion and the feelings of fear and the running away from the lion, as well as the lion running after this character, the lion huffing and puffing, the color of the skin of the lion, the trees and the plants in the forest, all of that is you. All of that is your dream, is made out of you. Not just the fear of being caught by the lion. The whole thing is you. One moment, David, one moment. It's very important. When you are identified just with the character that's running away from the lion, then your concern is about the fear. But actually, you're dreaming all of it. The fellow being chased by the lion, the forest, the trees, the lion, the sounds in the forest, the birds that are sounds of the birds. I'm sorry, what they?
Everything participates.
Everything, you are all of that. You are all of this. You are all of this. So, but the beauty is that once you realize that, you realize, oh my God, I am not just this guy running away from the lion. I am the whole freaking thing. Once you realize that, you start laughing. You start laughing. and you know what happens? You stop running, and the lion catches up to you and eats you, and you laugh. and you laugh. The lion eats you and you laugh.
So true. That is so true.
The lion eats you and you laugh. Isn't it funny?
And you wake up.
So you have to get that lion to eat you. Let that lion
Oh
eat
my
you. It's
God.
very important. Very important
Mm,
to be eaten by the lion.
mm,
See, the lion is just going to eat that dream character, and then the lion is going to dissolve. Everything's going to dissolve, and you're going to laugh. You wake up laughing. But Gonzalo says, one moment, David. So no difference in between the dreaming at night and daily living. The two are dreams by consciousness. Yes, Gonzalo. Yes, yes, yes. There is no difference. No, let me say, there is no core difference between the night dream and the waking life dream, the waking dream. There is no core difference. There is a peripheral difference. Excuse me. The peripheral difference is that the night dream is more éphémère. How do you say éphémère? It's more
Ephemeral.
huh?
Ephemeral.
Ephemeral, ethereal.
Ethereal.
It's more ethereal. The night dream is more ethereal.
No,
Yes, while the waking dream has a more of a sense of continuity and a sense of permanency and a sense of um, uh, as it has more density, Now, so it's like a story, okay? There are some stories that you read, and they're 10 pages. And there are some stories that you read, it's Dostoevsky's, it's 400 pages. So the story that is 10 pages or 20 pages, you read it quickly, The Little Prince, Le Petit Prince, you read that really quickly, and you enjoy it. While there are some stories that are more, it's more drama, and then this happened, and she did this, and he traveled there, and then his cousin came to here, but then her sister said that, and it gets very complicated. So in a way, they're both stories, they're both dreams, and one of them has a character. Sorry, has a more of an unfolding, more of a continuity than another. But one thing that I want to say about that is that in both cases, whether it's in the dream, the night dream, or the waking dream, what is the thorn? The thorn in it is the sense of self, of separate self. That thorn is, once removed, it's removed from both the dream state and the waking state. So that then you are able to enjoy the short play, and you're able to enjoy the more complicated Shakespearean plays. You can enjoy the comedy, the short brief comedy, or the short play, and you can enjoy the play that goes on for hours. Yes?
Yes.
Gonzalo, I have a question from David. I think he's been asked for quite a while. If you don't mind, I'm going to go to David's question, and I'll come back in a minute. So, David, if you're still following us here, your question is, how may I use this knowledge of one consciousness to help me be empathetic towards each thing arising?
Hmm.
One moment, David. I just have to respond to something else. One moment. Okay, that's done. Okay. Okay, David. So the question is, how may I use this knowledge of one consciousness to help me be empathetic towards each thing arising? Or another question, how can I make this knowledge unquestionably true to me? Fall in love with your question.
Mm.
Love your question. Like you've never loved anything before. It's love for truth, love for freedom, which is never a personal freedom. It's love for truth, and it's not a personal truth. It's love for joy, peace, and happiness. It's never a personal experience. It's this love, David, that takes you home. Cherish it. Wake up with it. Walk with it. Eat with it. Sleep with it. Dream with it. Love whatever you love with it. Love everything with that love, with your love for truth. If there is a young lady you love her with your love for truth. If you love the way she looks, love her with your love for beauty, with your love for truth, which is not personal. And that's your compass. When you forget your compass, you get lost in the woods. There are so many things in the woods, so many objects, so many forms, so many sounds of various nature sounds, animal sounds, sounds of nature, that you don't know which way to go anymore. Do I go towards that sound or this sound? That will not take you home. What takes you home is your love for truth. And happiness. You're a wonderful young man and so lively and happy. Just follow the happiness, the joy, the freedom, the youthfulness. You know, we forget our youthfulness. We get so engrossed in our point of views and our concerns and what's going to happen to me. While
I like that it's not personal.
yes, it's not personal. What makes anything personal? A thought of a person, a me thought, an I feeling. Do you control your feelings? Do you
No.
control anything? Do you control nothing? We don't even control, our blood circulation. We can't. We don't even control our breathing. Well, nothing. It's all arises. It all arises through the divine grace. It's the choreography of the great choreographer. And we are that choreographer creating the play and playing it. So, David, just follow your happiness and don't get engrossed into the me story, into the me, David, into images of me, images. You know, let them flow. They flow. They don't stick. Don't anchor them. Don't walk around with hammers and nails and just nailing everything. Let it all flow. It all flows. It's a natural way of consciousness to flow. No Velcro, no bulletin board where you're just sticking sticky notes. No files and folders. Be free, loose, and happy. Stay that way. Consciousness loves the openness, the fresh air, the happiness, the openness, the freedom, the joy, the ease of being, the innocence, the childlike quality of presence, the purity, and the intelligence. Intelligence is there. It's a God-given gift. God gifts itself, gifts herself. Hello, Linda. God gifts herself intelligence, love, and beauty. In everything, in every gesture, in every move, in every butterfly that just flickers its wings anywhere on the face of this planet, and every cosmic event is created from the love, the beauty, the joy, and the freedom of consciousness. You are that. You are that freedom, David. You are that beauty, that love. Just celebrate it. Celebrate it every minute of your life. Celebrate it, and you'll be the gift, a gift on earth. Everybody loves the celebration, loves your celebration, loves you.
Yes.
You're the love. You're the love.
Yes. Wow.
You're welcome, David.
That was beautiful.
Okay.
I like, Magdi, when you said about the dream and being chased. I really, really love the way you painted the picture of it, because it is so. I don't think that there was a better way to point to it, because the whole activity, even the questioning activity that goes on within me when you say is love that. I finally fell. I finally fell. I mean, I thought I was falling all along, and I fell. But the falling happens and happens and happens, and it's just such a joy. It's such a joy to have you appear into this dream that I'm having, that just pulls and stretches and tells me that I am just perfect the way I am. Just so perfect. And I finally got that, because I always seem to be wanting to become something. But I was already the one that became. I was already there. But it always seems like, okay, well, this is not enough. Here's a question. But that's also the beauty of it. And
Yes.
I finally fell into that grace. And I'm like, oh my God, just so, like you said, just love every part of it, even the questions. Because the question wouldn't be important if it wasn't asked. It wouldn't be part of the play if it wasn't asked. But it is not even, it doesn't really have any specific meaning. It's just a play going on. That's so beautiful.
Yeah.
I love this, Magda.
Yeah.
I just love this. I can't tell you how much.
Nice, very nice. Yeah. The question that's asked is beautiful, and the question that is unasked is beautiful. It's
Yes.
beauty across the board. Across the board is beauty. Beauty
Yes.
across the board. Beauty and love and falling into grace is just
Oh,
beautiful. Just
oh,
beautiful. Grace is our true nature.
oh.
We are grace, graceful. You know, the outer layers, that we take ourselves to be are just they're
Word.
not they're not they're not they're not even cosmetic because they just dissolve as they arise. They dissolve as they arise. Imagine you put on some makeup in a flash, it dissolves. This is how thoughts, images, ideas are. They just arise and dissolve like stardust. It's all stardust. It's
Oh, that's
stardust.
beautiful.
Stardust.
Mm. Yes, I remember having that dream. I many, many years ago, I was being chased by this thing in a white sheet, and I'm running and running and running, and all of a sudden, after all the tired and wornness, I seem to have appeared in back of a stall where you sell fruits, but there was nothing to sell. And then for many years, this dream would come up, and I say, "But what is the meaning? What is the meaning?" And I started listening to you, and it finally came to me is the one chasing me was I. Was exactly what you said, and I was like, "Oh my God! Oh my God! How incredible that it finally broke through to you know, truth
Right,
happens right here, right now, in every activity. There is only
right.
truth.
And
Oh my
uh,
God,
and
this
uh,
is just so
and the
magnificent.
chase
So,
comes to an end. There's no more. You're no longer
and
chasing
if it
yourself.
doesn't, it's
That's
beautiful. And if it doesn't, it's
yeah.
so
That's
beautiful.
that's the
And
the
that's what I'm learning to do is accept that I am part of this entire packaging. Because before I wanted me to change.
mm,
I really wanted Tay to change.
yeah.
And now
Well,
I see there's
yeah.
absolutely nothing to.
But yeah. But Tay, you're not part of this entire packaging. This entire packaging is
I'm
part of
sorry.
you.
Yes, yes. Thanks, Mag. Yes.
You are
But it's
the
still
eternal. You are the
it's just
eternal.
so what we're learning recently in the program that Regina has, the MP, body action be valueless. All blends into it. It's so magnificent. Just so magnificent. All I can do is grasp and say, what a beautiful thing this life is. Such mysteries wrapped in it, such mystery, and I am the mystery wrapped in it. Oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Maggie.
No, you're welcome. Now
Thank you. Thank
yeah, yeah, well, lovely. Well, it's uh, it's very lovely to celebrate life, to celebrate
oh,
and not to complicate it with all sorts of stuff. It's there's this tendency to just maintain the me concern, maintain the me story, what's happening to me, what's going to happen to me, and consciousness just looks at all of this and says, okay, okay, not a problem. After all, it's all my dream. But at some point, the bitterness of what's going to happen to me, it's like, okay, well, let's play a different play, which is just, it's actually not a play, just awakening to oneself, awakening to our true nature is the end of all plays and the beginning of celebration. Celebration is this uninterrupted peace and happiness, uninterrupted bliss, uninterrupted tranquility, freedom, that nothing disturbs. Nothing disturbs this presence, because this presence is not a thing. It's not made out of anything. Only a thing can be disturbed. Presence, awareness, what we truly are, is not a thing. It's unperturbable, cannot be disturbed. Has no beginning, no end, no weight, no structure, no mass. And it's everything. Everything is made out of it. Everything you perceive, everything you experience, everything you sense, everything throughout the infinite cosmos is made out of this presence that I am, that I know I am. I no longer need to define myself as this, as that, as any form, as any object. Why? What for? I recognize myself as everything, as everyone, as everything and as everyone. I recognize myself. In this recognition, there is nothing that I lack. There is nothing that I am not. Birth and death are but my dream. In my dream, a lion catches the rabbit and the rabbit dies. In my dream, the lioness gives birth to 4 cubs. Birth and death arise in my dream. Thank you for your lovely presence.
Thank you, Matt.
And for your company. We'll see you soon. Be well. Nice, everybody. Goodbye. Lee, Gonzalo, David, Tay, everybody. Peace.
Complete. Wow.